In 1996, one of the most prestigious automakers in the world unveiled a 550 Maranello, with the 550 referring to the 5.5 V12-liter engine, and Maranello referring to the town where Ferrari is headquartered. One of the owners of a 550 Maranello was, of course, Michael Jordan. He was a lover of Ferrari, lover of exotic supercars in general, who isn't, and longtime Jordan brand designer Tinker Hatfield took inspiration from the 550 Maranello and applied it onto the Jordan 14. And in 2014, Jordan Brand released a colorway that has a strong reference to the Italian supercar maker. And after 11 years, it is back for the first time. Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. She was dropping on June 14th for $215 in the United States, and the 14 was the first shoe that actually released when Michael Jordan retired for the second time as a Chicago Bull. Even though he did wear it in Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the Jazz, he wasn't supposed to. He did it anyway, but officially it's supposed to be the first shoe that came out after his retirement. Quick 5 seconds of your time. If you like this video, if you've liked any of my past videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And first impressions of this colorway, I love it. If you've ever seen any of my past videos, for whatever reason, I just really like these monochromatic red looking shoes. Might be a bit too loud. I'm usually a pretty subtle and simple type of person when it comes to colorways, but this all red, it just looks really cool. I really like how it looks. It just looks sleek. I might not be able to pull it off very effectively, but someone that can make this shoe just really stand out. And I love the little hints of yellow with that Ferrari tie-in and inspiration. Pops, but not too much yellow where it becomes like just too bold, too loud, like a traffic light. Yeah, everything about it I love. And some people are split between whether or not they like the rib texture of the Jordan 14 or like the flat type of texture like you see on the Laneys, the ginger Jordan 14s. At this point, I can't really decide. I think both of them are equally as good. I've never been like a huge Jordan 14 guy, but in a cool colorway and a distinct colorway, especially OGs, yeah, I'll still try to get my hands on them. And the materials on the shoe, it is completely suede, and the quality, it is not like super premium. It is decent. Every time I see like a full red suede upper on a shoe, I can't help but compare it to the red Kith Toronto pairs of New Balances that they came out with 2 years ago. That suede just was so velvet, so plush, super nice. And yes, this color can bleed. Even comes with a tag that says, please note, due to the suede characteristic, please be aware there is potential color contamination to the upper and bottom unit. So if that is a major deal breaker for you, just keep that in mind. I know some people really try to avoid shoes that can do that. I personally just don't care. That is the price I have to pay for delicious sneakers. And if you compare this to the 2014 release, it does seem like, at least out of the box, that 2014 color was a bit more just bold, like really red. This one kind of muted a little bit. The suede does like fade over time. Maybe they pre-aged this too. And of course on the heel here, you get that Ferrari inspired badging there with the Jumpman in the middle. And this, as someone that loves cars, this is my absolute favorite part of the Jordan 14. And fun fact, for the Jordan 14s, there are 14 Jumpman logos, or Jumpman, I guess, 7 on each shoe. And here's all 7 on one shoe. So at the top of the toe, 1 there. On the booty of the shoe, that's 2. On the badge, that's 3. On the outsole, that is 4. On the lace tips, there's 2 there, so 5 and 6. And number 7, it is on the insole itself. And then moving out the tongue, you get this black synthetic suede material. Doesn't feel too good, but small amounts, not a huge deal. And a very unique looking tongue. It's like a rectangle shape that has Jordan at the very top, and then right behind it, the Roman numerals and 14. And that tongue, one of the biggest complaints of the Jordan 14, especially if you're playing ball in them, is that it can move to the side very easily. One of my first basketball shoes that I ever purchased myself with my own money was the Jordan 14, and that was the biggest complaint. And if you look closely, another very unique thing about the 14, it is this asymmetrical shape on the ankle collar there. So on the lateral side, it is slightly lower than on the medial side. And moving on to the booty of the shoe, you get this textured pattern that is actually meant to resemble the tread on tires. Again, circling back to the Ferrari inspiration. Just one of the best booties on all Jordan brand shoes. And if you look On the medial side of the shoe, this little ventilation hole there, yeah, a little subtle minor detail, but I still love it. And the shoe doesn't come with any extra laces, just black laces out of the box. I think red laces would have been perfect, or if not perfect, really nice, a good option to add for this shoe. And the Jordan 14 was actually the first Jordan Brand shoe to experiment with like these metal-like lace tips, so kind of started a unique trend for the brand. And another pretty distinct thing about this very distinct looking shoe is that the eyelets kind of hidden on the upper, so you don't see them apart from the very top eyelets. Gives it a more even sleeker and slimmer type of shape and look to it. Now the Jordan 14 does come with a Phylon midsole with a Zoom Air on the heel as well as the forefoot, and the way it feels underfoot, it is a very low to the ground, low profile type of shoe. That is exactly what Michael Jordan wanted it, and it feels even lower than like the Jordan 1s, Jordan 2s, 3s, 4s, like the earlier Jordans. Yeah, if you're not used to a super low to the ground shoe, this might be kind of weird for you, but overall I do like the setup. It is not like super dense and firm Phylon, and the Zoom Air obviously provides some responsiveness. And on the rubber outsole, majority herringbone, still holds up in 2025, and you get this TPU plate in the middle here that is not carbon fiber. Out of the OG colorways of the Jordan 14, only the white and red colorway had carbon fiber on this area. This is just a TPU plate, and you'll see this kind of teeth going up the upper of the shoe that is meant to resemble carbon fiber as well. These back parts on the booty of the shoe kind of to resemble like brake lights. And the insole, pretty typical of a Jordan 14 retro, just Jumpman branding on the heel. These two blue areas here, it is not like the best quality, but it is better than some trash that Jordan Brand gives us. And the box of the shoe, another pretty standard Jordan 14 box, nothing too special. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For Jordan 14s, I just stick true to size. Lengthwise, widthwise, no real pain points, doesn't strangle my toes up in the forefoot. The lack of arches that I have, or don't have, doesn't really get affected by the arch area here. There's no heel slippage, the padding is very sufficient on a Jordan 14, so whether or not you have wide feet, I do recommend going true to size. Maybe even if you have like narrower feet or more slender feet, you could go down half size, but definitely get a second opinion. And overall comfort wise, this is a pretty light shoe. At this point in Jordan Brand, they've kind of got the weight of the shoe kind of trimmed down to a point where it doesn't feel super bulky and just bricks on your feet. And under your feet, even though it's very low to the ground, someone that grew up with basketball shoes, I'm used to that type of feeling on foot. If you're not, and you're very used to or prefer like a super thickly cushioned type of shoe, might want to reconsider. But for me, I think the 14s are one of the more comfortable Jordans from 1 to 14. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari to 29 out of 40. Pretty decent score compared to other general releases. Now first, it is colorway. I really like it. All red, very monochrome, single color with hints of yellow. Might not be something that I can pull off the most effectively, but somebody that can really make this colorway like stand out. And in terms of the materials, I think it's decent suede. I've definitely seen better suede on other shoes, maybe not Jordan Brand, but at least like New Balance, Asics. It doesn't have like a super kind of plush and velvety type feel to it, but it's not like trash synthetic that you see on like Air Max 1s, so it's not that bad. And in terms of the comfort, I think the 14s is a pretty comfortable shoe. It is very low to the ground. If you're not used to that, you might want to reconsider, but it is lightweight. The cushioning, I think, if you're used to wearing basketball retro shoes, shouldn't have any problems. And in terms of versatility, this is... The 14, I don't think is like a super versatile shoe. It still looks kind of like a basketball shoe. Hasn't exactly crossed over into the mainstream like the 11s, 1s, 3s, 4s, or even 5s. Wearability of the colorway, it is bonkers. It is not a very versatile looking colorway. Doesn't mean you can't pull it off. If you are special and you can pull these off, I'm not talking to you, talking in generalizations here. I think most people, when they see an all red shoe like this, might be just a bit too loud for them. So versatility wise, it is not super versatile. My biggest passion outside of sneakers is cars. In fact, the only type of content I basically watch on YouTube is car content. And when a shoe is inspired by just one of the most legendary and prestigious automakers in the world, it is hard to miss. And for me, it is hard to overlook. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 14 Ferrari. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.